Hello, everyone. Welcome to Our Lives After Season 2, Episode 2. Joining here with me today are these lovely folks. Hi, hello. I have.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
We are the lovely folks.
Yep.
I have nuts in my mouth.
What's new,
Oh
Alex?
my god, so in character.
When don't you?
Just
Just
Tuesday activity.
just showing off, I guess. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. I don't remember what we're supposed to say up top, but we're playing Fabula Ultima. Links in chat. Thank you, Rooster Emma, for this really cool game. Shout out. Shout out to Emma for the sprites on the opening screen. Love it.
I just forgotten how to host on your channel.
I This cold love open is amazing, by the way.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
If at any point you would like, oh, we've got echo. Who's that? We gotta fix that before we start. Oh, that's Emma. Emma, I'm echoing through your microphone.
I'm echoing.
Yes. I'm sorry, I haven't eaten dinner yet. My dinner is on my desk right now. Okay. Hello, everyone at YouTube that's gonna watch this in the future. We are professionals. Okay. Yes. So there are a couple of ways that you can help support this show. If you'd like, you can use !surge at any point to pull up the benefits that you can get and also perhaps redeem for us. Soul surges are a way for you to interact with the stream and help us in those dire moments when we need that little bit of extra bump and or possibly unlock some cool combo moves that are super anime if we end up getting in a fight. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with that. Emma, is there anything that you wanted to say before I play the trailer? I can't remember.
We gotta introduce ourselves, Stella.
Oh,
Who are you? What are you up to? What's going on in life?
I'll start. Hi. See, this is what happens when Liv's not here. Just everything
Yeah.
falls apart. No,
We're
This
nothing
is
without
also-
Liv.
I do agree we should blame Liv for this.
Yeah. Oh, we're blaming Liv. I feel like not what happened.
poor Liv, not even here. Liv will be joining us in a little bit. But hello, I'm Stella Luna, she, they pronouns. I am playing Viscera. Viscera is your... She's something. She's got high heels on, and she's got a really cool sword. I do
Those are
TTRPGs.
two facts about Viscera.
Yup.
Yeah.
I produce, I play, I run, popcorning it over to Lexi.
Yeah, amazing. I'm Lexi. I use she, he pronouns, and I'm playing Mir Asai, who has lichen on his body and is tall. And that's the two facts.
Those are two facts about
Two
Mira
facts, I
Sai.
guess?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're giving 2 facts about our characters. Okay, no.
Yeah. Popcorning it over to Alex.
Woo! Hello, everybody. Alex here. I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Loveless tonight. 2 facts about Loveless. Loveless has white hair and really enjoys folk music.
Oh, those are two
Yeah.
facts. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's true. And I'll popcorn it over to Drac.
I'm Jack or Draconics. You can find me on all socials at Draconics. It's DRAKONIQUES. I'm mostly on Blue Sky, so you can just add a .itch.io to find me on Blue Sky. Today I'm playing Adana Masai. He's he, they pronouns. Actually, I think it's any pronouns. Yeah, just any pronouns. As long as you say respect, Adana's down for it. 2 facts about Adana. They're the only one in this world, and he's been isekai'd into this world. He's kept their name, kept their original name. Unless we learn something about Mir. Who knows? Mir's maybe a middle name or something. But as far as I'm aware, Adana's the only one who's kept their original name in this new world. And the second fact,
You have
they
anxiety.
really like They have anxiety. I think you'll figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They have anxiety, depression, and probably a little bit of elements of OCD, if we're going to be real honest about it.
That's amazing.
Those are 2 facts about Adana, absolutely. And I'm oh, what?
Liv's not here. What are 2 facts about Liv's character? Come on, let's work as a team here.
Okay. We can follow Liv at Live in a Day. That's LIVINDAY. I think that's what they're also going on Blue Sky as well.
Yeah.
They're playing a character called Cielo, who's a she, her pronouns. 2
Yellow's
facts.
uniquely
What if-
talented?
we get to make up facts and they become canon the moment we say them.
Oh,
I think
Yeah, I'll write them down for sure.
okay.
This works.
Is obsessed with what are the fluffy cows?
Oh, I know
The
what you
fluffy
mean.
cat.
Yeah, they're really fluffy.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Scottish
Yeah.
Highlander cow.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's Highland, not Highlander. I think Highlander's the
Highland
guy
is-
with the
I think
sword,
so.
right?
Highland.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of these fuzzy
There
cows
there
have
is a
swords
Scottish
now.
Highlander cow though out there. It's got a blue ring
Yes.
around one eye,
Only
has
one.
full sword.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's
that's one
Highlander.
fact.
One fact.
There's one fact is canon now. What's a good fact?
What's her favorite artist? Have you all
I'm not gonna say
covered
what I was
that?
gonna say. I want to keep it.
Share with the class.
I mean,
Pitbull.
it's got to be Mr. Worldwide.
Yes, Mr. World.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that one
Let's
instead of what I was
go.
thinking.
Oh my god.
Let's go with that instead of what I was gonna say.
God.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be really fun, like clipping this and then smash cutting to when we tell Liv when Liv gets back and seeing Liv's reaction is gonna be great.
I think Liv would actually be down for the Highland cow one.
Yeah. It's the other one. That's a
Yeah,
little
the other one
bit-
that we might get a weird reaction from.
Well, enough
No,
about
it'll be
Liv.
perfect.
Enough about
Emma.
Liv, yeah.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emmapanada. I use they, them pronouns. I'm making a TTRPG called All the Witches. You can find information about it at Blue Sky at All the Witches. I also recently, as in like the day after the last episode, made a personal Blue Sky that's just me talking about Fabula Ultima stuff, kind of. So if you want to see me talk about that, engage with me over there, you can do that at Emmapanada. And I'm the GM. There are no fun facts about me. So
Wait, what?
Hold on a second.
No.
I think one fun
That's
fact
not
is that you
true.
made a pronoun kind of system for
Yeah.
That's
our
true.
one in Fabula Ultima. So I think that's one fun
that's
fact.
a good fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
also
then it-
adding that into All the Witches. That's a fun fact.
Another good
Oh,
fun
yeah.
fact is if you ever need someone to introduce you to the world of Final Fantasy XIV, i.e. Eorzea, you have one Emmapanada to guide you along the way.
That's
Unless you
me.
suck.
Yeah.
If you suck as a person, I rescind that offer.
Fine, just say my name. Jeez.
Emma's actually
No.
literally the reason why I downloaded it again. It's literally your fault,
Yes.
Emma.
Oh.
Yes. And Magic the Gatherings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, love
Okay,
that.
well, let's dive in to Our Lives After, Season 2, Episode 2. Stella, press the button. When the words Do you know what discord is? First reached your ears. You hardly pay any attention to the word as you expect not to know it, like so many other words you've been introduced since you first arrived here. But after a moment, your mind replays the word. Discord, discord, discord. You know discord, or at least you knew a discord. But could this person possibly mean that? Then you think about his tone, the way she recognized Adana's bracelet, just like you all had in the void, that led to all of you recognizing one another. Could they also be from Earth? You all decide to go somewhere more private to have a conversation. Lovelace remembers a largely deserted tavern nearby from when he last traveled through Modeste, the Heron Hole. It's mid-afternoon as you enter. The curtains to various windows are open, letting sunlight into the large room. A few small tables are spread throughout with 2 large booths on either side. There are stairs leading upstairs where Lovelace would know there are a small number of rooms. The place isn't the nicest or fanciest, but it will do for your purposes. You find a lone elf with pale skin and dark green hair sitting at the bar with a large stein. His skin is covered with the trademark signs of a lane mark as 4 dark lines travel across his skin. He appears lost in his drink as you enter, and he doesn't turn to acknowledge you. At the sound of the front door, however, you hear a startled noise as someone sits up from the floor behind the bar. "Welcome, welcome!" He calls out as you see a dwarf with thick, unkempt hair sticking out to all sides. A small pair of glasses rests on his nose as he stares at you all. "Ho, ho, ho! I know you!" he calls while pointing out at Lovelace. "You had quite the name. I could never forget it. I could never forget it. Longlegs."
Yep.
No, hold on. Longlegs?
Yep.
I could never forget it. Lovelace, you recognize this dwarf as Tem Cliff. You stayed here previously as you were going to meet with the rest of the group at their awakening, and he tends to like to talk, but he's also good at recognizing when you want him to shut up.
Cliff, do you mind if we get a room? Maybe bring up 5 drinks if that's okay.
Of course, of course. You wanting it for the night or just for like an hour? You doing anything weird up there? Something I should know about?
Definitely something
Is
weird.
cleaning gonna be involved?
No need for cleaning. Dirty the better, honestly.
All right, I've got the perfect room. We'll call it 20s in it.
Yeah, got it.
You see
All right.
one of Viscera's eyebrows just cock, and she turns to look over at Adana.
I think Adana is looking over at Lovelace with a little bit of a confused expression before turning to Viscera and to go, "The dirtier the better? Are we... I thought we were just going to talk."
What do you think happened here last time?
I'll look over at Lovelace and then back at Viscera.
I'm handing over Zenit at this point.
He gives you a key. Room 3.
I don't know. It must have involved cleaning up, I guess.
Viscera will look over to our newest companion. Does he seem like he feels comfortable here? Like, do you stick out?
Absolutely, but feels very comfortable, like looking around, kind of just like checking the place out. I think that if anything, it's just what constitutes her armor and like the living, growing lichen crawling up her legs that just seems a little bit out of place, but overall seems very comfortable.
You will be joining us, of course.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure you all have questions, and I have questions for you too.
All right.
I think it's that way. And I'll point to where Loveless started heading.
After you.
And I will walk.
Loveless, you kind of bring everybody up the stairs. There are 2 doors on either side of a hallway, clearly labeled with 1, 2, 3, 4. The room for 3, like the room number, has kind of like fallen off the door and is just kind of like propped on the door frame, just for like easy kind of reference and everything. But walking inside, the room is a little bit of the mess. It appears as if somebody probably stayed here last night and Cliff just hasn't cleaned it at all quite yet. So the blankets are kind of all thrown around. There's like some trash here and there, but there's nothing like grotesque in the room.
Out in the room, how many chairs do you think?
We'll be generous and say there's 2 and then the bed.
I'll lay on the bed.
Okay.
Lay on the bed?
Yeah, I've been sleeping on a cot for the last like 3 months. Huh? Of course I'll lay on the
You
bed.
take your shoes off?
Hell no! This place barely has a real name. It's either hair in hole, hair in hole.
Air hole.
I'm laying down on the bed.
I'll sit on the corner of the bed.
I think CLO will obviously take a chair.
Viscera looks over at Mir. Have a seat.
And you see that Mir looks between the one person at the table, 2 people on the bed, and will go over to the bed and sit, making the bed sink just a little bit.
Oh,
Viscera makes a whole show of sitting down, just like rows leg over other leg. The heel is like popped up, just kind of reclining a bit.
Where are you all from?
I guess that depends on what you meant by Discord. We know of a Discord, but we're not sure if it's the same one you know of.
Yeah, isn't that an adventuring guild? As I start pulling out some notes from my jacket.
Not exactly, I would say.
Does an app mean anything to you?
Yeah, it does.
I immediately look at Viscera when he says that.
We're from Japan.
Start looking through my notes rapidly.
I squint my eyes, just studying you.
I'm not from Japan, just to clarify.
No,
Reading through my notes.
Donna and I.
Oh. That means something to me too, somehow.
Where?
You definitely remember all of the information you have from the old world.
Yeah. I'm from Detroit, so
Holy shit.
like
So
Michigan.
you're from Earth, like from our world, our Earth.
Yeah. I think Mir will stand up. It's good to meet other people. It's good to see that I thought I was alone.
We thought we were we know there's one other person, but we thought we were just us. We didn't know we were gonna run into someone else. Did you die?
I think I did. I mean, I remember a building falling and then darkness, so I assume. And now I'm here, so I guess that's what that means. But
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I don't know. I don't remember. You would remember like actually dying, right? And so since I don't remember that specifically, maybe I think that I'm somewhere in between, or I don't know.
I got
I'm
clocked by a
fairly-
toilet seat.
Wait, what?
Is it, wait.
I think I remember. Did you tell us this already in character?
I'm not sure
I
don't
don't
think
think
any
I
of you have
did.
been told.
And it
in
was spoken about
character.
Yeah,
it
we
in
didn't really
character.
talk about the trauma.
Well, Viscera
That's kind of
says
Nego.
this.
And Adana goes, wait, what?
Never
Yeah, that
mind.
sucks.
Anyway, how long have you been here?
It's been like, and has it? How long has it been, Emma? I think you
8
said
years.
8 years. Yeah. The time is fuzzy, and I started not keeping track, but then I started keeping track again. But I think it's somewhere between like 7 and 8 years.
Interesting.
How long have you all been here?
A month?
Yeah. Vishra, Cielo, and I. Anyway, I'll turn to you, Loveless.
On the bed, I'll just kind of peek my head behind my notes. 5 for me.
Years, that is.
Yeah, years. Apologies, not months. You see just me furiously going through multiple different notes. I look very confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You hear footsteps outside as someone begins ascending the staircase. Long legs, stop talking about secrets or doing weird things. I'm coming with drinks.
You can come in, Cliff.
What did you do
Cliff
last time?
Cliff comes in with a tray, setting down a few steins of mysterious liquid you imagine is alcohol of some variety. Well, have fun. And he walks out.
What does he think we're doing in here? I'm looking pointedly at Loveless when I say this.
Alex the Wind was about to say ERP, but Loveless looks and just goes, I honestly have no idea. Cliff lets his imagination go kind of wild. I like to make the joke that weird things go on, but it keeps people... When people think you're doing some freaky stuff up in the rooms, they don't really ask that many questions, in all honesty.
good tip.
Guess I keep that in mind. What's with all the notes? And I'll kind of gesture at the notes in Loveless's hands.
Loveless, like, very much, like, puts them forward so you can see. There's some bad scribbles on there. He's not the best artist in the world, but he takes meticulous notes, generally speaking. Yeah. I mean, over the last 5 years, there's been a lot of travel for me. I've been taking some candid notes to keep myself... How do I say this? When you live here for so long, things start to get a little fuzzy. And I keep these to make myself... ground me to a degree, as there's some very specific tasks at hand that we need to, address.
Oh. Is Mir on there? What are we meant to find? I mean, it's great to meet you, Mir.
Yeah, that's
Same.
where the notes kind of get a little fuzzy. No. Nope. Nada. Zip. And so I'm now a little confused, which is fair. I'm intrigued, to say the least. Start scribbling notes.
Oh, given like direction or anything like that when you came here? Is that what you're trying to reference? Because I wasn't given very much.
Well, we're supposed to save the world or something close to that.
Yeah. Okay. Just as vague as mine, I guess.
In all honesty, from the sounds of it, maybe not as vague. We were pointed in a direction, or at least a direction of who we're saving the world from. I mean, if you've been here for 8 years, I'm sure you've heard about them, but the Demon King.
The Demon King, like, you just kind of stay away from all of that. So, like, yeah, but, I'm doing my own thing, so it's okay. Like, you can save the world without dealing with the Demon King,
I put down my notes. I know. No, there's a very specific. So I was given kind of like milestones, like a very poor professor would in like a college class. There are like 5 core steps here. One of them was to make it to the mountain south of Autumnal to ensure that individuals were released from their rocky tombs. The next one is very much along the lines of we need to stop the Demon King to clarify, which I'm totally okay with.
Weird. I mean, I wasn't given any, like... And you see, like, Mirror's, like, hands behind the neck, like, trying to... Like, looking everywhere but you all. No, the Demon King, like, no. I haven't really... And how bad could it really be? And, I think that we could... save the world, whatever that means, without dealing with that. If it's possible, which I'm figuring out if it's possible.
Viscera,
Yes.
give me a recall check. Insight plus insight.
Ooh,
You're wanting to
it's
hit
time
an
to
8.
roll.
Time to roll.
It's time to roll.
Insight. And insight.
Yep, that's the one.
I rolled a
Critical
crit.
success.
14,
Ooh,
double
okay.
7.
So you remember when you all were in the void talking to the goddess Thramera, she mentioned that she brought all of you because you were connected to the Demon King. You had some sort of connection to the Demon King in his life and on Earth. Given that, you're able to extrapolate that this person probably also has some sort of relationship with the Demon King, and this hesitancy that they're showing to actually, like, confront the situation probably has a lot to do with who they were to the Demon King in life.
You know the Demon King.
What? No. Like, the name the Demon King comes up a lot, but then you're like, does anyone ever really know
Did you meet them
who
here?
they are? And
On this side?
What?
Did you meet them?
I don't know who you're talking about, and I haven't met anyone here because I've been traveling alone.
So you know them from before?
That's not what I meant or said, but damn it.
We know him from before, if that helps.
But like a long time ago.
Yeah.
You're in a guild.
Well, I was very close to him. And you see, she's like looking around, like hoping that's enough. That's, I just don't. When I got here, I didn't want to get any closer because I don't. There's something. How do I say this? I just don't want to get any closer to the Demon King if I don't have to, if that makes sense.
I see. Well, perhaps there may be some time between now and when we will eventually have to meet up with the Demon King. That is our intended goal here. Whether you come or not, I don't think that it will change my mind, at least.
Do you know why? Do you know why the Demon King is a part of things? Because everyone keeps saying he's bad, but I mean, we're not saying he's bad, but you just hear different things when you travel a little bit.
Well, regardless of what people say, someone with a lot of firepower decided that we would be the best people to try to reach the Demon King. We intend a conversation as much as we can. We have so many questions. As far as the nature of what's true or not, you probably have a better idea.
And honestly, over the last maybe 3 years since I started receiving words from Thermera, the word is stop, clarify, not to kill. So maybe it's something to come. Maybe it's not something that's happening now. But words do have perspective, and fortunately, the words on this side of the world are not too gracious.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to be just talking, I mean, I was given the imperative to also help save the world. And if this is what I'm here for, and if this helps me get my life back, then I'm down. I'll do what it takes. If you need someone else, I understand if you don't, I can just go back to the forest, but...
What we do need is someone to help us with the placement exams.
Because we are broke and we're not getting anywhere without a little coin.
Or a license.
Without breaking some rules. But yeah, I prefer not to do that, generally speaking.
I can check to see, what I've got on me. I think Mir will reach into his pockets, and there's like branches and flowers and moss and coins strewn between them. Did we figure out how much I have? Is this something that I want to share with everyone? I don't know. I don't think that...
I think it's in your character sheet.
Yeah, I don't think that she has a reason
Let me
to...
look.
How much do I have?
That's the question.
hide
None
it.
of
You
you.
can be like
You have
football.
110 zenith.
Great. Yeah, so... that's what I've got. How much do you need?
I think what Lovelace meant was we're going to be entering the exams, and that will hopefully, if we get the license, to become official adventurers. That's how we can make money, and we wouldn't say no to some extra muscle in the exams.
Oh, that sounds great. Exams for what? Oh, to become an adventurer. But
Yeah,
is that different than what we just did, or?
I think what we did was technically either mercenary work or vigilante work. And
More to the latter, honestly.
I didn't realize there was rules about how that goes. I will gladly, sure, I can help. I have been traveling by myself for a while, so it'll take me some time to get used to a group or people at all, but I will help as much as I can.
Well,
Okay.
if you haven't been penalized or apprehended at this point, and you've been at it for several years, that must mean you're very good at what you do. I would like to have an ally like you by my side.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't run into anyone yet who hasn't let me do what I do, so. Maybe I am
Excellent.
good at what I do.
Isra looks very pleased and has no other questions.
Amazing. Friend, Mir turns to Loveless. You said you've been here for 5 years?
I start shoving my stuff into my pockets.
Where have you been?
Mostly out on the ocean. About 4 years. Well, more like 3 years and a half at sea. About 8 months on land between trips. And then about 3-4 months ago, dropped off land a little bit south of Modeste here and headed, north of here and then headed south to ensure that the individuals were not going to die on their first day. Luckily, y'all made it down a mountainside. I look at Misra and Adana. Cielo. Yeah, mostly at sea. Yeah, I mean, I think Mir, I don't know how often you would come to Modeste, but Modeste is on the ocean. And so there's definitely a port. And so you would probably tell from the tattoos I have on my right arm that I am a member of, or potentially was a member of the Anguilla Trade Syndicate, which is a large pirate nation, technically.
Interesting.
Technically.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Modeste. I
Where
am...
you are right now.
Whoa.
It's the city
I think
you're in
I've
right
been
now.
to Modeste.
You've
what
been
this
here
place is
before. We
called.
talked about this.
I have been. We did talk about this.
Could you
Oh,
imagine a character
my-
going, whoa, that was so
I think I've never
good.
been to Ohio. You're in Ohio.
Whoa. I love that so much.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I have been to Modeste at least a handful of times, more than a handful, but I'm mostly staying in the Forest of Nicia, so that's kind of where I'm at, but I didn't... there's a weird sense of relief, knowing that there are other... I'm sorry that you all are here, it's been really hard to be here. It's been even harder to be here alone. So I'm excited to have other people here. I'm sorry that you're stuck here. But as long as you don't, remember yourself, dying, I think that there's a way to get back, right? We're not... At least that's what my brain has... I've just been hoping.
There has to be a way to head back. And honestly, maybe moving towards Someone's Demon King thing could be what we need to do. We were brought here for that reason. Maybe we can leave once that job is done.
Oh, I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. And in those games that you all used to play, at least I can assume, and you see that her eyes go to Adana's wrist, to your bracelet. Didn't they just give an endless amount of these quests? And if you finish them, you just get another one. And, I'm not very good at quests, so I would prefer... Well, I've been doing what I prefer to be doing, which is just making my own way.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think this is a game. I don't think it's a game. It doesn't feel like a game. Everything hurts a lot when it hits you. I just... If we were brought here, we should be able to be sent back. That it can't be that hard for a goddess, the goddess we ran into.
Well, I really hope that's right, because I've been thinking about it a lot over the past 8 years, and when that's the only thought you have in your mind, it starts to become your only hope. So I really hope that this new avenue of actually going towards the thing that scares me might be the way out. That would be great. Because it's the only thing I haven't tried. So
I look at Loveless and Vistra because for the first time, someone is agreeing with me. Everyone seems to have been fine with him being here. So having Mir kind of want to back me up here, I'm like, this is a good idea, right? It makes sense.
You see, Viscera just has a drink and has like picked something out of the drink, just flicks it aside.
I'm just tweaking with the Magitech arm.
And it seems like the first steps is the placement exams, right?
I mean, it's the best way for us to be able to at least get out around the country and to get us relative access to things that we would be doing technically illegally if we didn't, so.
It will give us access to more information.
Okay. And Adana will like spring up with an energy you've not seen them have since they woke up in this new world. We should get going then. We should. I'm realizing I don't know where to apply for the exam, but we should start looking for where to apply for the exams.
There might be an official Milfist office here in Modest. I don't know if it's still open or not, but I believe it happens to be in Odinal, which is still a few weeks' journey north. We could potentially get a ferry ship from here there, to my understanding, depending on the trade winds, but there's still some more trial. That's a good question to the GM. Would there be a local office here, or would we have to head to Odinal specifically?
There would be like a posting board that is maintained by like 1 or 2 employees, but it's not anything significant. The main Adventurers Union office / building is in the capital of Odinil, which is about 4 days journey to the north.
Well, 4 days journey by what?
By walking.
By walking. Okay. Oh, Milfest is a little bit. I'm not Milfest. Modest is closer than I thought it was. Yeah, I will sit up and I will open up a map and look at the map. Is there in front of us? And I'll point that we are on the continent of Nelmna, near where Modest is, and then north of it is where Odinil is.
How do you feel about large cats?
How large?
I use my hand and gesture the height of Francisco, which is pretty big, like rideable big.
Yeah. That's fine.
Great.
It's an Adra if you've ever seen one.
Oh, for sure. Yes, absolutely. Are they here right now?
Oh no, they're outside, and they're not being returned to the stable here that I originally purchased it from. Francisco is officially a member of our adventuring unit, so.
I like that. Okay, yeah.
But yes, I think 4 days from here to Odinil, we might need a ship. The Drovian Empire is across the sea in Aleskra. That's where at least most notes of where the Demon King is. But once we get adventuring license, crossing international borders becomes a bit easier.
Okay. Adana very awkwardly kind of stands there, rubbing their palms against their pant leg, and sits down again. So I guess we probably need to rest before we head out. Maybe get a lay of this city of Modest.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think a good day would be nice. I mean, we've been on the road for, what, a week or 2 now? Forgetting, honestly, the days go by.
Yeah. Did anybody drink the liquid that was brought up?
No.
Damn.
I buy it as courtesy for Cliff. I don't drink anything from this establishment.
You know what? I drink it. I think Adana at least takes a sip.
No.
Okay, perfect. So it's alcoholic for sure, but it also tastes like spicy pickles.
Okay. I take another sip. And then I say it down.
Wait, so like in a kimchi kind of spicy way?
Yeah, I would say so.
So it's like kimchi water.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh my
Gosh.
god.
You see, Adana like takes a sip because
Room temperature,
Oh.
tepid kimchi water with like a hair in it, probably.
Yeah.
you can tell Adana's like trying to be like, it's just another culture. I'm just gonna appreciate it.
Just
Take another
another
second.
culture.
Nope.
I'll look at Adana. It's just bad. You can put it down.
Okay.
I'll go down the cliff and say we'll just get a room here for the night. Just keep things kind of cheap generally, or a couple rooms here. Then I'll chart a course for Odinil after the fact.
Could we ask for new bed sheets?
I mean, I don't think we need room 3 specifically. I'll ask for a clean
Okay.
room or have Cliff come up here. This is
Oh,
mostly
thank
for more private conversations. Yeah, I'll go head down to Cliff and just see how much 3, maybe 2 rooms will cost, depending on how much it is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so heading down, you see that Cliff is just kind of silently, boredly sitting on the ground behind the bar. You could tell perhaps he was trying to like listen in on the conversation, but maybe like gave up for whatever reason. The elf is still kind of sitting at the bar, like drinking from a freshly topped off stein. And as you walk down the steps, Cliff immediately sits back up. Ah, welcome back, welcome back. How was your conversation?
It was good. Thank you, Cliff.
All
Room
right,
3
well,
never disappoints.
what can I do for you? Anything you need? Rooms, advice, rumors,
For the
a
night
nice
at least-
conversation?
For the night at least, maybe. What's the pricing on 3 rooms?
3 rooms would be, let's call it 120, since you're a good friend.
Oh God. All right. How about 2 rooms?
Let's call it 80, since you're a good friend.
Good. I was just checking your math. Okay. Can we do like 75?
All right, fine.
Thanks. All right. We'll take 2 rooms for the night. And then I will pay you in like, I'll pay you now. Really, I'll start taking out the 75. And
All right, perfect. You pay the 75. He gives you keys to rooms 2 and 4.
Okay.
They're already clean and ready to go.
Thanks, Cliff. I'll head upstairs.
Perfect. Is there anything you all are wanting to do with this day?
Take a bath. I'm
Take a
stinky
bath.
and covered with blood, soot, ash, and dirt.
Wait, is this a Bathhouse episode?
Please.
I think you could find a bathhouse in town. There's definitely not a bath in this tavern.
Bathhouse.
I go to the bathhouse.
Okay. Perfect. You go there. It probably costs like 2 zenit to use. It's very cheap, but
Oh, hell yeah.
there's obviously kind of the like gendered sections and then like I don't give a fuck section.
I go
and
to
you
the
can
I don't give
go
a
and take a
fuck
bath.
section.
Hell
I think
yeah.
Adana would also go. Because they feel very icky right now as well.
Valid.
And also in the I don't give a fuck section as well.
If Adana and Viscera are going, I think that Mir wants to talk to Lovelace, but I think it's more of like a sadness, like a shared sadness thing. And it's like, I need to get used to being around people, and so we'll go with the group to the bathhouse. Even if we wander separately, I would just kind of go that way.
Which is also so funny because Loveless has been around people for too much these last
Yeah.
few weeks. And it's gonna not go to the bathhouse and specifically go to 3 places. And I'll message you though.
Okay, perfect.
Wait, share with
I
the
love
class.
messages.
I can share with the class. That's totally fine. I'm gonna head to the adventuring board. I want to see what's going on in the area because it gives an idea of the adventuring parties who are going to be heading to Odinil and potentially what the exam could be related to potentially. I want to head by the courier's office. I need to write a letter and send it out. And then I would like to stop by the docks to see if anyone from the Anguilla Trade Syndicate is there, just to get a better understanding of trade relations between Milfist and the Drovian Kingdom, and subsequently what the waterways and travel looks to the northeast, because we will have to head in that direction eventually.
Okay, absolutely. So, first,
I woke up to
Bathhouse.
game today.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
I love it. It's perfect. First we'll head to the bathhouse. Getting in there and kind of going into the I don't give a fuck section. Mir, would you also go to the I don't give a fuck section?
Absolutely.
I figured, but I didn't want to assume. So you all go in there. There's maybe like one other person there, but they're so cool they don't even pay you any attention. They're just giving you all your respect and your space and letting you be.
Are there any
Hopping in.
packages, like as we're walking in, are there any signs
Oh,
that...
there's packages.
Got him.
You walked right into that. Stella. You walked right into that. The
Damn.
moment you said it, I was like, finish them right now. Right now, I'm gonna do it.
Finish them.
Are there any signs about spa bundle deals for massages and
I see what you're getting at. You know, I
all of
actually
you go
think
to horny jail?
I
I'm there right
actually
now.
think there would be. Modeste is like not a giant city by any means, but it is a fairly significant city, as probably like the second largest and most important in Nelmna, next to Odinil. So I think there would be some services like that. I mean, you're not gonna know, but they're by no means gonna be anything like crazy intricate, but there's definitely some like massage sort of stuff, maybe some oils and things of that nature.
Yes, I want that one.
Okay, I think it's gonna be like another 20 Zenit.
Stella, are you cool with this? I think Adana is feeling like a puppy dog, and when it comes to like outings, so the moment they see one person, I think they're like, I'll have what my friend is having. It's kind of that
Yeah.
energy. Like, I'll have what they're having.
Well, Meyer is also there.
Yeah,
But-
That's true.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I think I'm following. I'm like taking the cue on like, yeah, I will get that as well. That thing.
And before anyone hands over any Zenit, Visser will put their arm out, like mom arming them, and look to the attendant and say, "This is a good amount. This is a good amount of business. Surely you can give us a bit of a discount."
You know what? I'm gonna
Oh, I
make you
love
roll
you.
for it. Give
Hell
me a
yeah.
persuade check, insight plus willpower.
Hell yeah.
My heart.
The attendant is like fairly young, maybe about 18 or 19.
Oh, that's a
What the
20.
hell?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Okay,
I like to
45
imagine.
Zenit?
Wait, you said they're young?
Like 18, 19.
Okay, great. Because as I'm mom arming my big mommy milkies, my
I
huge
knew
mommy
it.
milkers, are just like boom.
Not the sound effects.
I knew it.
God.
Yeah. Cool.
Necessary.
What's the discount?
45 Zenit then?
For all three of us?
Yeah.
Fine. I guess.
Okay, it'll take me a little time. I'm the only one working, but I'll do my best.
I want to point out what Wizard Style says. They said, and this is from the person who sent everyone to horny jail.
Yeah,
Exactly.
hey!
Appropriate.
Wait a minute.
It's called fan service.
Yeah. Gosh.
So you all definitely have to take turns. They don't usually do multiple people at once. So there's like a simple table or simple padded table that you'll lay down on, and the young person will kind of get to work and massage your various muscles, your legs, your arms, back, neck, all sorts of places. Is there anything you're wanting to do or talk about as you're going through this bonding experience with one another?
Ooh, are we mechanically bonding? Or roleplay bonding?
Either.
Whatever you
Let's
want
do
to do.
both. Mechanically and narratively bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by mechanically bonding, because this is new for Lexi,
Mhm.
whenever you have a rest, you get to create bonds. And you can
Okay.
invoke bonds to give you bonuses to rolls and things.
Okay.
So, every time you rest, typically it's supposed to be when you like rest for the night, but we kind of hand wave that and do other things. On your character sheet on the main page, you'll see a section for bonds. And every time
Okay.
you rest, you can create one bond and give it like one emotion. And in the drop down, there's like a list of emotions you can give. There are 3 positive emotions, there's 3 negative emotions. So, yeah, you 3 can go ahead and create a mechanical bond, but also you can roleplay bond.
I think Mir coughs and he goes, so a toilet seat.
This was just choking in the bathhouse.
Staring, glaring.
This is Viscera like underneath the water, talking underneath
Yeah.
the water.
Yep.
Howling, yeah.
I mean, we can come back to it. Adana, I mean, you all seem to have a lot of knowledge of how this place works.
Actually, we don't know how this place works really at all. Everything we've learned has been through. Well, honestly, a lot from Loveless.
And of the things that you've discovered so far, anything give you like hope?
I kind of like raise my right hand, and you see it's from the wrist up. It's entirely blackened, and it almost seems to seamlessly connect with the black lines that go up and down Adana's body. Some nerves, and anxiety, definitely, but I've been told that there's some people that might know a lot about magic. I'd initially asked because of my hand, but they might be able to help with more than just that. Maybe getting us back home, or at the very least finding a way to get us back home. So yes, but with plenty of anxiety to go along with it.
Over time, I realized that it was almost like there was no hope. It was almost like there was no trace that my life had existed, I guess. And I mean, I guess you can go 8 years and say things to people and they look at you like you're making things up. I guess that makes you doubt the world. But I will say that if you feel like there's hope, even if it makes you nervous, that means a lot. It means a lot, and we should follow that.
Yeah. And I look to Viscera and go, yeah, right?
Water splashes as Viscera emerges, no longer having bubbles and soap in their mouth. Is it hope that you're holding on to? Is that what is motivating you?
It's like a... I mean, I think that I'm a good person, and I was a good person, and bad things don't happen to good people, right? So, I guess it is hope that, I mean, you all seem like good people, so I think that it's hope that we all will make it back home, and that there's always a door that's open, because we're choosing to do good, even if it scares us.
I see. Your tenacity is admirable. I think that commitment to a cause is important. For those who bear such a quality, it is worth noting. I do think that perhaps you and I are not on the same page. I fear that my own personal ambition most likely exceeds the limits of what hope is. I don't need hope. But it's okay if that's what you need.
If you don't need hope, then what makes you keep doing this?
Knowledge. I need to figure it out.
Figure out what brought us here?
Everything.
I think there are a lot of things in the world, and in our world, I guess, that I didn't understand, and I felt like I was okay with that. But... and I think I've been treating this world the same way. That I know I don't fit in, so I shouldn't try to figure everything out, but I guess I haven't heard that perspective before.
There is a bit of a derisive chuckle as she leans back, putting her elbows and arms up against the edge of the pool there. Viscera looks confident. She embodies a certainty. She doesn't look like she doubts herself. And she is studying you. Her head tilts just a little bit. Curious. You can tell just from the tight lines of her face that she's probably one of those people that keeps their cards close to their chest. She blows some hair out of her face as it clings to the sweat. Donna and I knew each other even into our adult years. We worked at a mutual place. So I think it's safe to say we have a bit of a bond. Perhaps something that might not be as prominent amongst others in our group.
And you notice Adana kind of almost like sits up a little bit, and Vistra saying out loud that they have a bond, but they don't say anything. I do think their face kind of betrays them, but
Oh, they're so cute. Adana deserves so much better.
Well, it's good to have friends here. It seems like a good idea.
Yeah, friends.
I tried traveling with people and it just didn't work. So I'm excited to try it again.
See, Viscera literally cut you off. She just like kind of flipped some of her hair over her shoulder. Yeah, tell me more about that. Why have you been traveling alone?
Oh, it's much easier. A lot of the groups here are very exclusionary and whether or not they're doing good or bad, they want you to be as strong as possible, and it was really impossible to do that unless you have to work really hard, and you can kind of only... It seemed like a paradox. They want you to be strong enough to join them so that they can train you to be strong enough to be with them, and then it's just self-defeating. So I tried it for a little bit, but I got rejected because I was scrawny. So then I just went to the fields of Nicia, or the forests of Nicia, and I have been, there's a word that I remember being used, grinding, I guess? Something like that? Yes.
Adana's head is underneath the water, like just halfway underneath the water, and is unabashedly just staring at your body as you say that you were scrawny. Just like,
I love
and
the
you just
idea.
hear the bubbling.
I love the idea that as you're talking, the camera's like zoomed in really closely and just like tracing your biceps and your super buff torso.
Delts, like just truly flexing. Like I'm scrawny, so I just don't fit in. Yeah.
And you see the bubbling. There's like bubbling as I'm speaking underwater, and for anyone listening, you'd hear scrawny. Where?
Viscera just completely visibly checks you out.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't care.
As you should.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. I think as she's talking about like, oh, I kind of, I'm not buff enough to join these groups, and it had been a long time and whatever else, so I just went to the forest, and and it made me a little crazy, but it's okay, and everything's fine, and bad things happen wherever I go, but it's okay. And as Mira's talking, just like scars littered across his body. There's like no place that is unclaimed. Every single part, like 8 years, like you hear 8 years, and this is not someone who is lying or joking, and you wonder just how much work they have put into their body, put into their like training themselves. But I think that their voice just betrays them. The way that I think that literally their posture, even though they're flexed almost at all times, they're still like hunched over just a little bit in the water. They're like looking down at the bubbles and watching the bubbles move and change, and like looking up and around, but like never fully making eye contact. Except for these moments where they bring up hope and trying to see if you know anything. But otherwise they seem kind of like nervous and hunched over themselves.
You hear a splash of water as Viscera, butt naked, gets out of the water and leaves.
Are we done?
I think I thought we had maybe 5 more minutes. I think we're done.
She comes
Yeah.
back.
We're like both like climbing out.
She has a plate of the closest thing to whatever they were selling here that's like fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like a slightly larger apple, but when you cut into it, there are small grapes inside.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
So Viscera comes back with a plate, and there's like a slice already removed from it, so you can see what's inside of it. And she climbs back in and holds it out to you.
Does this fruit have a name, or can I name it right now?
You can. I would love for you to name it because I don't want to come up with shit.
All fruit.
My
All
God.
fruit.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
No, I was gonna say lamp fruit, but I like now you said ball fruit, and that.
So ball bag. Ball.
Ball bag.
Ball spear.
Sack
ball
fruit.
ball.
Sack fruit.
Sack fruit.
Sack fruit.
Okay, I'm gonna
Oh
pronounce.
my-
I'm gonna spell it SAQ though, so it's cool and
Yes.
fantasy like.
Yes.
How's it of the jackfruit?
Oh, it's like jackfruit. Yeah, exactly. Dear God. Amazing. Okay, yeah, I will look at Adana. I know you're coming to me, but I think I look at Adana and then I look back at you. Sure. Yeah, sure. And giant hand goes and picks a piece of the sack fruit. If you really want to try this, like, I haven't had it, I guess, like, uncooked, but, like, over a fire, pretty good, pretty delicious.
Oh, is that so? You see that she offers it over to Adana, but is still looking at you.
Donna will take a slice.
Yeah, thank you.
Sit back, butt naked, eating balls.
As you all sit back, eat some sack, and hang out,
Munching
Right.
sack.
munching on some
Munching.
sack, relaxing, getting all clean and shit.
Oiled
We're
up.
gonna hop over. We're gonna
That's how
hop
you
over
bond.
to Loveless.
Exactly.
Ooh, so as we're ending
Speaking of
that
buns.
scene, I'm going
Yeah.
to. Ooh, man, that conversation started off kind of rough. I was gonna go for inferiority with Mir, but it has definitely flipped to admiration. So I'm adding that bond.
Ooh,
Nice,
Well, the-
nice.
so fun.
Bond to Viscera admiration as well. It would have been
Perfect.
affection, but I already have that for Viscera.
Mm.
For Mir, I think it's admiration as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Normally, you can
go ahead, go
only
ahead.
create one bond arrest, but
Okay.
I'll bend the rules for y'all.
Let's
okay.
stick with the rules. Let's stick with the rules. So
Okay.
I did say that affection feels right, and I already have affection for Viscera, so that's fine.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
But yeah, admiration for Mir for sure.
Perfect. Mir, who would you like to create a bond towards?
It's so odd because I think I could go with. I feel like I could go. I feel like I could go with Adana because I feel like we saw each other, but I almost think that there's a. I feel like Viscera convinced me of a perspective I wasn't seeing. So I feel like I'm gonna go oddly enough with loyalty.
Okay.
Loyalty to Viscera.
Hell yeah. That's perfect. Incredible.
Oh, we love to see it.
Okay. Well, so mechanical bonds out of the way, we are now going to move over to Loveless. Unless okay, never mind. We're not going to Loveless right now. Let's go over to let's go ahead and take our break cuz our other player just got home and we can get them all set up and in here.
Let's go.
All right. Please join us in doing a little stretch. Grab some water, grab some snacks. Because when Liv comes back, we're going to tell Liv about the facts that we made up for their character
Yeah.
while they weren't
Yeah.
here. So that's going to be a real treat. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
Bye.
Our lives after. Our lives after.
I think we have something to tell, Liv.
Oh yes, we
Oh.
do.
Yeah.
Been here for like 10 minutes and we've been just chit
So
chatting,
Liv,
having a good time, goofs and gas. What the fuck?
I can't wait.
Liv, we had a little special segment that we all loved and thought was an incredible idea at the beginning of the session as we were introducing each other, where we all just said 2 fun facts about our characters. And since you weren't here, we decided to tell some fun facts about Cielo. So, I mean, one of them obviously loves Highland cows. No brainer. Clearly, right? You can confirm. That's canon.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yes, it's the prophecy foretold.
This is actually really funny because my girlfriend loves cows actually and has a cow collection.
Perfect.
I just bought her the strawberry cow. No, she bought herself the strawberry Highland cow from Build-A-Bear. So
Nice.
Aw.
Nice.
Hell yeah. So
See,
you picked the right cow for this.
match
I have
made
the
in
long
heaven.
core-
We
I have the
figured it
long
out.
one.
But then,
Okay.
You can see it.
ooh.
Yeah.
But then obviously the second fun fact is that Cielo's favorite artist is Mr. Worldwide himself, Pitbull. True?
my sister.
I see you fighting yes and with a gun.
So my sister does like Verizon testing. So she goes to a lot of festivals for free because her job is to like improve the cell service at festivals. She's God's strongest warrior. And because of that, she recently saw Pitbull live and she said, hands down, he's one of the best performers she's ever seen.
There you
Are
go.
you kidding me?
So
Everyone,
it's
we figured
also
it out.
canon now.
We
about
did
Cielo.
good.
We didn't
Yeah.
miss.
Fucking funny.
Mr. Worldwide.
I was gonna say, I had an idea and I was gonna say, and I was like, nah, let's not even put that out there. That appeared to the group chat.
Oh,
Oh, I
No.
can't
So
wait.
good.
I can't wait. Gosh.
You're a
Oh.
deeply unserious person. Absolutely
That would have been
unserious.
bad. That would
I
have been
didn't
bad.
say it.
Oh.
Chat, you
say
can
it.
probably guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get back into the session. How's that sound, everybody?
Okay, to help
Sounds
set
good.
the scene, there was a hot, steamy bathhouse. And we're
Yeah.
not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
all
not-
fucking-
Thank you for
Scene.
saying that, because we're definitely not there anymore.
We're not there
We aren't.
anymore.
Highlights. there were
Instead,
sack
we're in our
proofs and
villain
package-
scene.
Liv, come back.
Liv, come back. It's a villain scene. Maybe Liv had to go do something.
Okay. I'm ready.
Tomorrow, Hope says quietly while sitting on her bed. The journey hasn't been a bad one, but it has been longer than she would have liked. The hum of the airship kind of thrums around her as she lays in her room. Getting to know her new guards has been entertaining to say the least, but also a bit maddening at the same time. Hope holds a blank book in her lap and lets herself draw on it with a quill. We'll finally get there tomorrow. She looks up at her artistic subject, Elia, standing in the corner of the room. Hope has found herself doodling Elia often. Their armor is unique and has a lot of slits and raised edges. If this was Last Relic Online, it would be the kind of armor some edgelord e-boy would wear. She laughs to herself. She hadn't thought of Last Relic Online in a long time before she came here. Before the play. But the time she spent with Tetsun in that game has been on her mind a lot lately. She knew why. She started focusing on her drawing more to distract herself. You know, she looks back up at Elia. It's been a long time since I've seen you without your helmet. Not since you first saved me, I don't think. Elia turns their body to look at Hope. We're alone, Hope offers. No one else will see. Silence hangs in the air between them for a few moments. Hope quickly breaks the silence. You don't have... Elia lifts their hands to their helmet, unfastening the straps one by one, and begins to lift. Hope can see the edges of the threads hanging before there's a knock at the door. Elia quickly puts the helm back on, and Hope sighs before placing her sketchbook to the side and standing. Come in. The door opens, revealing Hey Alien wearing his comfortable clothes. It must be getting close to nighttime. She can never tell in here. There are no windows, and she's not allowed to go to the deck of the airship. Strictly prohibited, she remembers Resson telling the crew. Ma'am, he nods towards her. Since we're arriving tomorrow, I thought it best we go over the plans for when we land. Of course, Hope says. First things first, some security concerns. I'll have to ask that you stand close to myself or Elia as often as possible. With the news of your arrival and this being the first time the world has really gotten to see the Demon Sage, the city of Ovalost is hosting a festival to welcome your arrival. A festival? Hope says, surprised. Yes, your arrival is a big deal, but big crowds mean big danger. The fact that the Adventurers Union placement exams are also happening while we're there doesn't help things either. There will be a lot of very capable people in the city, some of which may very well seek to harm you. So again, stay close. Hope nods, suddenly becoming afraid. She hadn't expected her arrival to be such a big thing. She just thought she was supposed to meet with some city officials while keeping an eye out for the people from her dreams. She hadn't considered how much danger there may be in a city when she had so many guards. She didn't want to die again. Ilian, clearly able to see fear on her face, speaks once more. Don't worry, we're more than capable of handling anyone who gets too close. He smiles. Of course, Hope wills herself to smile back. So, what happens once we land? Ilian looks back down at his list and begins going over their full itinerary. Loveless. We see you cruising through the city streets, doing your tasks. What all are you aiming to get done at the moment while most everybody else is at the bathhouse?
Yeah, I mostly want to check the adventuring board, like I said, to see what's going on in the general area, if anything between here and Audenol. Secondarily, I want to stop by a courier's office to draft a note to send, and then I want to stop by the docks, personally.
Yeah. Which would you like first? Your pick.
Probably the first two, because those are probably pretty quick. I want to look around the docks, so.
Okay, absolutely. So, you venture off to accomplish the first two tasks. I'm not gonna lie, I was reading chat. I missed the first thing you said. So, could you say that again?
Adventuring board. I want to check the
Adventuring board. Thank you. So you head towards the city center where there is a board next to this little kind of stand. There is a fairly bored looking middle-aged man standing behind this stand. The board itself has a few flyers and postings on it, but as you approach, you're just looking to get a sense of what problems are occurring in the area, or okay. So
yeah, or any
looking around,
large things in the relative premise, basically just scanning.
Yeah, you see a couple postings about some fiends that have spawned on the coast to the east. You see a few people who are requesting aid with, let's say, some hostile sharks and like other sea creatures that are getting a bit too close to the coast and causing some problems. And then you see a fairly new looking posting from the Anguilla Trade Syndicate, specifically the Kingfishers, saying that some sort of large sea creature has been spotted north of Audenil in the water. They are amassing some ships to go and take care of it, and if there are any capable adventurers who would like to join, or even mercenaries, they are willing to pay about 1,000 zenit each person to help in the slaying of this creature. So you know the Kingfishers. The Kingfishers are specifically one of the 3 arms of the Anguilla Trade Syndicate. They're the people who largely control almost all of the water in the planet. They're in charge of most of like the shipping and kind of traveling and cruising and all of that stuff, as well as hunting dangerous creatures and anything else that they might get up to.
I mean, if there's nothing too out of the ordinary, I mean, I understand that the syndicate has its own needs, but mostly I was just double checking if there's anything between here and Audenil that might potentially get in our way. If there's no other notes from Audenil, is the person attending the board currently an official worker?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a name tag and everything.
What's the name tag say?
It says Hem George, but there's no E.
Ah. Excuse me, Hem George, question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah. How can I help you? He kind of stands up straighter. He was like leaning on the side a little bit, taking a nice little shut-eye for a few minutes, but comes to attention as you start speaking to him.
Thank you for taking time. Me and a few of my compatriots will be heading to Audenil probably the next coming days. I just wanted to understand if there's been anything tracked or recently closed out between here and there, and if there's anything, at least from note from the larger guild network in Audenil.
So the roads to Audenil from here are extremely well traveled. There's not much that tends to pop up very often, and if there is, the Adventurers Union kind of corporate building in Audenil itself still send someone fairly quickly to take care of anything that may pop up, just to make sure the trade routes are clear and safe. So you have nothing to worry about there.
Got it. Understood. Anything else from Audenil itself, though? Anything intriguing? Anything you've heard of? Anything specific?
Well, I know the demon sage from the Empire is supposedly traveling to Audenil. This is the first time, as far as I'm aware, she's ever left the Empire ever since she first got there. So it's a bit of a major event. The entire city's kind of throwing a big festival in her honor to welcome her. And I'm here, and it's getting a bit crazy.
Foreign policy discussions, I presume.
That's what we're hearing. Specific trade agreements and perhaps some other agreements to do with the research facilities they have to the south.
All right. Well, thank you so much, George. I'll be seeing you when I head off.
Of course. Have a good one.
Cool. Yeah. I'll head
Now,
to the closest courier office. If they have one in town.
Yeah, you can absolutely find a courier.
Cool.
We don't have to roleplay this out a whole bunch, but what sort of letter are you wanting to send? And where to?
Yeah, of course. I would like to draft a message to an individual by the name of Ariette, to an island known as the Waylit Isle. Probably has to be delivered by someone from the Legion of Salt and Souls, but I'll pay for coinage here, how much of it costs.
Okay.
And be able to ship whenever it gets sent.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be about 30 zenit due to the obscurity of getting to this place, but you can absolutely do that.
I'm burning through my gajillion dollars.
Well, Cielo has like 3,000, so it'll be okay.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, and then once that's done, I'll just head down to the docks.
Yeah. As you head down to the docks, I do want to check in with our dear friend Cielo, if Liv is here. If Liv isn't here, then that's fine.
Caw, caw.
Caw, caw.
There's some seagulls on the
Liv,
dock.
can you hear us?
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna skip Liv. Oh wait.
Yes, no, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry. Oh,
You're
one of my
okay, you're
things-
okay.
One of my things to do this week was to move the Wi-Fi router into my room, and of course I fucking forgot to do that.
Mm,
good.
That's okay. Well, welcome. Good to have
Thank
you.
Thank
So, to catch you up a little bit, you all went to this like more obscure rinky-dink tavern to have more of a private conversation with Mir to get a sense of who she is and what's going on and if he's from the real world. And turns out she is from Earth, but you all kind of connected and all of that stuff a little bit. Everybody kind of split up from there. Viscera, Adana, and Mir went to the bathhouse to like freshen up, and Lovelace went to take care of some errands. I don't know if there's anything in particular that you would have liked to have gone and done. You could have just gone to walk around the streets and get a sense for the town a little bit. There was a bit of a rambunctious, like talkative, weird bartender guy that was hanging out downstairs. There's also a elf that didn't really acknowledge any of y'all's presence at the bar downstairs, who is a Laymark. But yeah, if there's anything you would like to do,
Yeah.
by
I
all
think-
means.
Yeah, I do think Cielo would have gone and done reconnaissance a little bit. Probably. Part of me's like walk around town, but then this other part of me's like, ooh, this chatty bartender. Ooh, I think I'm gonna go hang out with the bartender.
Okay, absolutely.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
you,
Before we
as
do,
everybody
can
else,
I just hop,
yeah.
hop real quick. I think Liv, there's like a high. I don't know if it's just me, but there's a high pitched sing coming through your mic. You might need to like unplug and replug your mic, and it sounds like it's probably a cable thing.
Yeah, okay, I'll be
anything.
right back.
Okay. While we're doing
Okay.
that, I'm gonna look in all my notes. Oh, it is still there.
No,
Still
what
there.
the fuck? Oh my god.
Maybe
Okay,
try
one second.
turning crisp on.
Nope, nope.
What's everyone's
Sorry,
favorite
what
class
songs-
in Final Fantasy 14?
I don't know.
Oh man,
Gunbreaker.
The
Are
good
you-
one.
it's still there.
Well, I turned
Oh.
on everything now. Oh, okay. Fuck me. Oh god.
I don't know if you read on this, but have you tried leaving the Discord call and coming back in?
No, I'll try that next.
It does sound like a
Technical
cable issue, though.
difficulties.
Hello.
It does sound like cable.
Yeah, it's
No,
coming
it's
through
still
still.
there. When you plugged your microphone in and out, was it into the PC or the cable to the mic itself?
Cable to the mic. Let me try the PC.
Yeah, it might be the PC. Okay. I could tell on Stella's face that Stella noticed it. I didn't want to say anything.
Wait,
I'm like, let
what?
me do it.
Did I make a face?
I don't know if you made a face, but I feel like we just hung out enough for me to be able to tell. Well, I could tell you're like, should I say something? Should I not say something? So I was like, I'll just do it.
You've just been read like a book. Stella.
I lowered
Reading
Liv.
Rainbow.
I lowered Liv's volume on my end, and I was gonna wait until Liv was not in a scene, and then I was gonna message Liv, but I didn't want to interrupt, basically.
No, that's fair. But if we're gonna have an extensive scene, I wanted to make sure the scene was enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I've been playing Clair Obscura Expedition 33. Um,
Oh
Ooh.
and it's taken over my life because
Hello?
it's. Oh yes.
It's still there.
No, it's
Oh.
still there. It's a
Wow.
different pitch now somehow.
Oh no. Wait.
Are you
Oh, this is a
using
different pitch.
Are you using
Yeah.
a mixer?
No. 1 second. I know exactly what it is. Oh, I'm gonna drive into the sun. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Liv was also a different pitch too.
Yeah, Liv was
I was
also
gonna say
Well,
Liv's
Liv-
voice was also pitched up.
Yeah. While Liv is dealing with that, let's hop back over to Lovelace
Okay.
at the port. So you head down to the port. It's definitely not the largest port you've seen in the world, and you've been here before, so you've seen it before anyway. But I'm describing for the
How
audience.
about now? Is the pitch still fucked up too?
It still felt like you sound a lot lower. And
Yeah, you
high
sound
frequency
deeper.
things there.
I know exactly what it is. I hate this mic. Okay.
If you could just keep saying, "I know exactly what it is," right after, that would be incredible. That's a good bit. So there's probably about 5 docks. Presently, there's only 2 ships docked. There are various like members of crew kind of offloading or onloading ship, not onloading. The fucking word is just loading. Various like crates and wares and whatever else they may be kind of bringing to Modeste or taking from Modeste. But as you approach the docks itself, what exactly are you looking for? What are you wanting to do? Wait, Liv.
Yes.
Speak
Hi.
again.
Hello. Hi.
Oh,
Yes.
still
Hi.
there.
Hello.
Still there. And
Oh,
different
still
pictures
there.
You know
as
what? Honestly, it's been fun. I might dip out.
You're so
well. If he needs
good.
us, yeah, you're
Yeah.
good if he needs it.
Yeah.
Well, just because like I have no idea what it is. I didn't have this problem recently. So I'm gonna just figure that out. But yeah, I love you all. Have a good one. Bye. Besitos para
love you.
todos.
Two.
Follow Liv at Live in a
No.
Day. Here, I'm gonna give the
Yeah.
link.
Yes.
Sad.
I get technical difficulties, especially live on stream, is truly the worst thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you imagine it's only worse when you're coming right back from work.
I know. Just
Yeah,
for the
absolutely. That's
record,
hard.
Liv ran from work to be here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on foot all the way, all the mile. And I'm kidding.
the whole way. Just
The
honestly.
whole way. All right.
No, I definitely get that.
Okay, so Loveless, what are you up to? What are you seeking out?
Can I take a look at the different sails and do I see any ships from the Anguilla Trade Syndicate?
Yeah, we'll say there's one from the Legion of Salt.
I will go look for a Restless Undead. That looks to be like a low-ranking shipman on one of these boats.
Yeah, I think you're able to find one fairly easily, kind of messing with some like crates and things just off the ship. So these kinds of undead are very special. Why don't you describe what this person looks like for us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's all types of restless undead, depending on how long they've been out at sea, depending on how many times they've died. But this person specifically, unlike Loveless, who is more like a specter, who kind of like phases in and out of reality and is more like a ghost, I said this person is a little bit more like Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean series, right? Like more coral,
Ooh, okay.
More bone, not like evil, just like a person who is just one with the ocean and has spent a lot of time out at sea. They are currently just lifting boxes, like you mentioned. Lots of coral, a little spiky, probably, maybe urchin-like.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Point for the crossing, sailor.
Hmm? He turns, looking at you curiously.
Just have a question for you, if you don't mind. I'll toss the coin over.
Drops the crate, catches it. All right. What have you got?
Have you seen a ship passing by recently? I'm forgetting its name off the top of my head. What
Well,
was
that's not very helpful.
Thank you. It's been a very long 2 weeks. The Torre de Fer, a pretty long ship, 3 sails, 2 headmasts, red sails, generally speaking, captained by an Isidora Lycarian, not of the Syndicate, brother.
I think we passed a ship fitting that description on the seas. Perhaps a week? 2 weeks ago?
Do you know what sea lanes they were heading through? Heading up to Audenil and further on, or no? I was looking to potentially hire passage in maybe 3 to 4 weeks' time.
No, I believe we're heading towards Nuha. But it's hard to always tell. There's a lot of places you can go from that channel.
Fair. And where's your ship heading? Don't mind. Beautiful boat, if you don't mind me.
Thank you. We are taking a long journey back towards the Gambler's Isle.
Do you know how many ships have been porting in Audenil recently? Generally? If not, I can double check with the Tide Master when I get to the city itself, but...
Audenil, I couldn't say. Guess 20, 30 ships, perhaps? It's a lot, but it's also very expensive.
More than usual. Surprising. Alright, that's all I wanted to check in. Thanks, sailor.
Nods and gets back to work.
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave the rest of us undead. I don't need to deal with the Syndicate today. I just wanted to check in on shipping. I will find a cove or a beach, and I'll just go for a swim.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're able to hop off and do that and have your own little bathhouse experience in your own way.
Yeah. Gauntlet stays on.
Gauntlet stays on. Perfect.
I have to, or I start to phase in and out. Can't actually swim.
All right. Well, the rest of you and Loveless eventually, as this. Ooh, yes, Viscera.
I'd like to go somewhere if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to ask around to see if there's a magic shop.
What specific kind of magic are you looking for?
As I'm standing in the street, Viscera holds up this sword that she appeared in this world with. And she doesn't know very much about it. All she knows is that it's very powerful and that it's dangerous. But it's more of like a gut feeling. She has just been using it essentially just as a stick to whack things so far.
Yeah.
So she'd like to just ask someone a few questions about it. And so she's looking around, trying to see if there's any place here that might fit the bill.
Yeah. Let's have you make a... Let's do an insight plus willpower check to see what you can find.
Okay. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, that's a 3. Do I want to use a Fabula point?
It's a good question.
Yeah. I'll use a Fabula point. I'd like to invoke my identity of cold-hearted tactician.
Okay.
I fear that this might be a liability somehow. When I'm in a bit of a pinch and I'm pushed up against the wall, I want to know if this is something I can rely on or if it's something that is going to backfire.
Mm.
Yeah, do
Okay.
a little wee wo. Is that okay?
Yeah, spend a Fabula point and give me a Whittle Weewole.
Okay. I don't know why it says I have 5 points. I don't think that's true, but I spend a reroll. I roll again.
Ooh, that's a bigger number. 12.
12.
So, asking around, it becomes clear very quickly. There's not really anything that you would understand as a magic shop in Modeste. Magical items are things that are very rare in this world, and this sort of town just doesn't have like an infrastructure that would really be interested in items like that. However, as you ask around a little bit more and more divert your questioning away from is there a store or a place I can go to maybe ask some information about magical shit, you begin asking more about individuals. And while there's not a mainstay person here that is knowledgeable enough in that sort of thing that it might be a little satisfactory or give you a satisfactory answer, oddly enough and funnily enough, you are hearing that there is someone in town who could potentially know some stuff about magic. They aren't sure, but as you're asking questions, you keep hearing about the elf. And elves, as you are aware through just media throughout your life, but specifically more about kind of the vibes you're getting as you're asking people questions, they're extremely long-lived and they're extremely rare in this world. As you've been going around, you haven't seen any other elves except for the one in that tavern that you had briefly kind of had an encounter with. And specifically an elf who is also a laymark. Laymarks deal with curses and weird magical shit all the time. And so someone that long-lived who has a life where they're probably dealing with that sort of stuff a lot may know a thing or two about magic that you might have questions over.
I think even without finding a store or any real direct lead, this still is valuable to Viscera. This information of just how rare magic items are in this world, that this isn't something just commonplace. It isn't like various stores that were in Relic Online. This alone is enough to give Viscera the satisfaction for their questioning. Just knowing that what I have is uncommon and probably very dangerous. Probably reconfirming more of this is something to be careful with, not to just use unnecessarily. And she'll head back.
All right. Okay. You all head back and gather. As you do, the elf is no longer there, and Cliff is still just kind of like hanging out behind the bar. As you enter, he like sits up and like has a big smile, hoping for perhaps a little bit of conversation. But I mean, whether you do or don't is up to you. But eventually, you all find your way back up to your rooms. What's the sleeping arrangement gonna be like? Who's rooming with who?
I don't know who I room with, but I know that Mir sleeps sitting a chair, maybe against a wall, but we'll just
Okay.
straight up, facing towards the door, wherever she can prop herself up, like a big dad, if that makes sense.
Love that. That's great.
From our time together, are any of you snorers?
Yes, but I was gonna blow up this whole scenario because I kind of want to sleep near the ocean because I haven't been by the water in a really long time. So like, I'll swing back and like have a meal with the group and like converse. But I mostly bought the 2 rooms to split between the other 4. I'm actually okay sleeping under the stars. It's just, and I'm not sure everybody is generally.
Viscera does not want to sleep with any noisy sleepers. And will actually raise a stink about it and will be obnoxious about it.
Well, I was gonna say I don't snore, but because I think it'll be funny for the for the content, I think Adana snores. And I think you don't notice it until Adana falls asleep. So because I think Adana's rooming with Viscera.
Okay, excellent. I love it.
Like swears that you don't snore.
Yeah, like I don't snore. What do you mean? I wake myself up with snoring, and I turn to Viscera like, "You snore so loud, Viscera. You woke me up."
Oh my god.
What's that?
Exactly.
That's so funny.
I think Cielo will happily take the other room with Mir and a bed all to herself.
Yeah.
That seems like a Cielo move.
Yeah.
But
correct.
Room with the buff person, the buff hot one, and also get a bed to themselves. Yeah, that's a Cielo move.
Yeah.
So real.
But then that night, as you all are resting, one of you has a familiar dream. Mir, you find yourself standing in the middle of a clearing. This place feels familiar. It is familiar. You've been here many times before in many different dreams. You find yourself in this clearing. The dense forest around you reminds you of the cursed forest you've spent the last 8 years hiding in. It reminds you of Nicia. In the middle of this place, there stands a large door standing freely. Vines and plant life have grown up all around it, twisting in its various crevices. And as you look at it, a dull voice calls to you. Open it. You take a step forward. You know you have to open this door. It's only a matter of time. But you know that something terrible is going to happen once you do. Open it.
No. No.
The door grows larger, as if imposing its presence on you further. Open it.
Oh no. I don't have to. I don't need to. Everything will change. Everything will change.
The door grows larger once again. You whisper to yourself, saying, no, everything will change. I'm not going to do it. But the door and your destiny grow larger and larger still, imposing upon you. Open it. The voice repeats. Open it, open it, open it! Suddenly, you feel a hand on your own pushing you forward towards the door. Your hand feels the weight resting behind it as you push, and suddenly you wake up. Cielo, snoring on the bed in the room.
Yeah. I think big tears in his eyes as he wakes. And he just... Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here. He grounds himself. I don't know if he tries to sleep. Eventually he does fall asleep, but I think stares at the door. Stares at the front door of their room for as long as he possibly can for the rest of the night.
And you do. And staring at that door the rest of the night, afraid of what might rest beyond, afraid of it opening, afraid of this dream you've had so many times before, and this destiny you're told that you must accomplish. Eventually, the sun rises once again. You hear Cliff's voice from downstairs. I'm making breakfast if y'all want any! And unfortunately, I think we're gonna end the session here. Because there's some big stuff that I want to do that I need Liv for.
That's
And
Sorry,
the
that's
next
okay.
step is getting to the big city. And that's a big thing. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna dive into that quite yet. But thank y'all so much for playing. That was a good chill session of a lot of role play and character interaction, and I'm glad we got to have that.
I'm glad that we got to form some bonds with our
Yeah.
new party member.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so happy. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go do some outros here as we button up for the day. Emma, why don't you tell us all about who you are and where we can find you?
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emmapanada. You can find me on Blue Sky. I'm making a TTRPG called All the Witches, and you can find information about that at All the Witches on Blue Sky. I'm posting daily updates or near daily updates about how all the writing and stuff is going, and it's getting very, very close to being done, and I'm very, very excited about it. I also have a personal Blue Sky now that I made a couple weeks ago. That's just at Emmapanada. And if you want to talk to me about Fabula Ultima and stuff, you can do that there.
Excellent, thank you so much. We'll hop on over to Drac.
Hi, I'm Drac or Draconics. I do TTRPG stuff all over the place. You can find me on all socials at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'm mostly on Blue Sky though, so if you want to find me there, just add a .itch.io to find me there. I do TTRPG stuff. Like I said, the main thing I will shout out is that every Tuesday, on podcast services, you can hear I had to count like 1, 2, 3. Three of our three of the people here, voices in a podcast called Sacred Machinations, which is a actual play podcast that I'm one of the players of and the producer of, where we kind of just meld together mechs and divinity and very queer, toxic relationships to make very cool and fun stories with Lexi, the incredible Lexi, as our GM. So if you want to check that out, check out Sacred Machinations on all podcast services. That's SACRED MACHINATIONS.
I play a hot, buff, golden retriever farm boy.
Boy,
Yeah.
don't you?
I play a cybernetic, kidnapped but recently freed orphan. Not as sexy as a description as Stella's, but
Still sexy nonetheless. Oh, that's so
I will
sick.
throw it over to Alex.
Hell yeah. I played Loveless tonight. My name's Alex. You can catch me on Blue Sky at Goshiken RPG. I'm designing a game that is slowly chugging along as life goes on. It's about pirates. It's about being anti-colonial, and it's set on the heritage and roots of the cultural background of my people of Southeast Asia. Outside of that, recently I've also been thinking about like a first generational immigrant like real steel Metabots ass game. I don't know if that's ever gonna
Ooh.
happen because I still have to finish the first game. But I was like really into the concept like the other day, and I was like, I love everything about this. But that's shelved for now. But yeah,
For
wonderful
one,
playing with it. Yes.
I just want to give mad kudos for the Metabots reference.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I
But yes.
love that shit.
Yeah, I will hand it over to who has Lexi has it? Lexi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh my gosh, my name's Lexi, otherwise known as Black Girl Mage. You can find me on Blue Sky and all the places, including YouTube, under that name. Yeah, what am I doing right now? Sacred Machinations is it. And well, okay, Sacred Machinations is a big part of it. So yes, please catch those podcasts. And also I mainly and only bleat about about Sacred Machinations, but I'm also in a Call of Cthulhu game over on the Dungeon Run. That is so much fun. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be there this week, so it'll be tomorrow evening. I won't be there tomorrow, but we've been dealing with magicians and Houdini yeah, Cthulhu, there it is. Yeah, we've been dealing with Houdini adjacent persons,
Jason.
and
Ooh.
it's so scary actually. But you can just show up and watch me be a regular person, and then my other players who all were like studying to be doctors and stuff ask extremely terrifying questions that I write down because I'm trying to learn from them. But yeah, that's kind of all I'm doing.
Awesome. I'm still Luna. This is my channel. Hey, what's up? You can find us over at Stella Luna TV on YouTube. For what I've got going on, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we've got our Patreon game of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. It's a almost 6-year campaign now, and we are in the middle of trying to figure out who the Ghost Lantern Killer is. So that's exciting. And then next week, Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be having our one-shot of Swamp Goblin Mysteries. It is a one-page RPG created by one of our community members, Wizard Styles, where you're just a little goblin and you're trying to solve a mystery. And the person who did the art for the TTRPG did art for all of our cast members. And my goblin is really stinking cute. Her name is Rosie, and her main tool of investigation is a very long stick with a flower attached to it, which she calls the poker. So you should come watch
Iconic.
that.
So good.
Incredible.
But that's going to be it for us. Please also live in a day at Bisca Social.
Yeah.
Please check out all of Liv's wonderful and beautiful things. Follow all these lovely people. Please keep up to date with all of their cool projects. And we will be back with more Our Lives After on the 3rd, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Bye!
Peace out.